Hey guys, welcome back to another Division 2 build video. And in this one I wanted to put together a build using the new concentrated company gear set with a piece of the new Unit Alloys brand set. And I thought this build was actually fairly decent when I tested it on the PTS, but after the PTS ended, the devs actually buffed concentrated company, and now this build can put out an absolutely insane amount of damage. And one of the cool things about it is that the stacks are really easy to keep. So it allows you to have some pretty crazy damage at all times. So here I am using the Strega in this build, so there is a little bit of build up to it, but I'm hitting about 1 to 2 million to the body. And then you can see on this named enemy with full Strega, 2.6 million to the head with a 3.2 million kill shot. So this damage is pretty nuts. So with that, let's take a look. Alright, so this build is 4 pieces of the new concentrated company, the Unit Alloys Equalizer chest, and the Overdogs gloves. So let's look at the concentrated company stuff first. So the 2 pieces is going to give weapon damage, 3 pieces weapon handling, and the 4 piece is called camaraderie. So shooting an enemy marks them for 7 seconds. When a marked enemy dies, receive 1 stack of 3% weapon damage and 2% crit damage for each ally or skill that has contributed to killing that enemy, including yourself. So this 2% crit damage, this wasn't in the PTS, this is new. So this is what took this from pretty decent to pretty crazy damage. So the max stacks is 35, decay every 10 seconds, maximum amount of marks that can be placed is 4. So with this gear set, if you're going to play solo like me and you're just using the companion and 2 skills, this does stack pretty slow. Even though it's only 35 stacks, it feels really slow. It takes several minutes to build up, but this decay every 10 seconds, this is an extremely generous decay. So once you've spent the couple minutes to build it up, you pretty much have it all the time. It decays so slow that you can run around the open world from activity to activity and lose at most maybe a third of your stacks. And then it's pretty easy to build back that last third because your damage is so high. So now for the mask, I have weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit chance mod. Then for the backpack, I have weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit damage mod. And then the talent is one for all. So this increases the weapon damage bonus per stack from 3% to 5%. So when you're at max stacks, it's going to bump it from 105% up to 175%. Then for the knee pads, weapon damage, crit damage, and the holster, weapon damage, crit chance. Then for the chest, I'm using the Equalizer, which is the new named Unit Alloys chest. So this is going to give 5% rate of fire, which is nice because the weapon I'm going to be using has a little bit lower rate of fire. So this has weapon damage, crit chance, and then I have a crit chance mod on here. And this has the new Perfect Obliterate. So this is going to increase total weapon damage by up to 24%. Then for the gloves, I'm using the Overdogs. So this has weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and has the talent weakest link. So this amplifies weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemy currently in combat as per the tier hierarchy. So the Overdogs do hit really hard, but because of the way the talent works, it can be a bit random because you have to shoot the right enemies. So another option you could go with that won't hit quite as hard, but it will be far more consistent, is to go with concentrated company gloves and go 2 piece of the new Unit Alloys and use the Salvo holster. So with the Salvo holster, you're going to lose either a little bit of crit chance or crit damage, but you're going to get another 5% rate of fire here, and then this is going to give you plus 20% assault rifle damage. So this is a good option if you want more consistent damage over the Overdogs. Then for the weapon, I'm using the Strega. So mine has 15 expertise. This has assault rifle damage, health damage, damage targets out of cover, and this has the talent Unnerve. So basically this stacks 15% amplified damage to marked enemies up to 75%. Then for the secondary, it doesn't matter, you can use whatever you want, I don't use it. And then for the pistol, I'm using the Quick Step pistol for the extra 20% movement speed. And then for the skills, I'm using the turret and the striker drone. So these are going to help build up your concentrated company stacks faster. So for the turret, no mods, tier 0, 12 expertise. For the drone, tier 0, 15 expertise, duration mod, and a health mod. Then for the modifiers, I was using the spearhead for no specific reason. I actually personally think that the companions are very tedious and annoying to command around all the time. So as far as the actives and stuff and the command link, I completely ignore it. I don't use it at all. I just let him run around in his own little world and do whatever he wants. Because what he is actually good at is annoying the crap out of the enemy NPCs. So I just let him run around and be a walking decoy. And he's kind of like a striker drone and a revive hive combined in one without actually taking up a skill slot. So at least for open world heroic and retaliations and stuff, I just completely ignore him and let him run around and do whatever he wants. And in this gameplay, I didn't have any of the passive modifiers unlocked either. And then one last thing to point out that's pretty important that they added after the PTS is that if you come up here to the global modifiers, scroll down, and you actually get passives here for each of the recruits. So I have 10, 7, and 8. So I have 15% weapon damage, 14% Has Pro, and 12% skill efficiency. So that's it for the modifiers. For the stats, I have 57% crit chance, about 97% crit damage, 700,000 armor, 72,000 armor on kill. Then last is the specialization. I'm using Gunner, mainly for this 10% armor on kill, and then make sure you have assault rifle selected here for an extra 15% assault rifle damage. So that's the build, guys. Try it out, let me know what you think. What do you think of the new concentrated company gear set? Also, what's your favorite way you've been using the new Unit Alloys brand set? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Come from? Heavily armored hostile detected. Civilians in distress. Serious trouble detected. Chasing knife! Just lie down and die! Reinforcements incoming. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Nailed the bastard!